Welcome back, everyone. Shifted the camera a little bit because, well, first order of business is shout out to the Late Night Gaming team who is streaming the Portland sector. They gave me the opportunity to participate, and by that I mean I was casting round 6. If you want to check that out, hit up Late Night Gaming. You check out their YouTube page for all the VODs and the live stream, which will also be going live once again later today for day 2. It was definitely fun doing that. Like, I really do want to do more casting. I do it for a variety of games when I stream. Like, it's the same sort of thing. It's just that I'm solo. I have done casting engagements for other games with other people, but it's just not an opportunity that I have very often. So, like I said, thank you. But putting that aside, what are we ranting about today? I wanted to also give out props to FFG for once. As somebody who craps on FFG readily, and they deserve it, I think that they are showing some signs of life in terms of their spoilers. So up until this week, I think the spoilers have been at best anemic, and really just downright atrocious. I think, and I've felt this way and expressed in multiple places, that this is a function of the modern spoiler culture. I don't know quite how to put it, but the reality is that because of the cadence that Magic has set and everybody trying to be Magic, and it's very obvious that FFG and Star Wars Unlimited is trying to behave in similar ways, not necessarily be Magic, but like they're doing very similar things. And by that, I mean, when it comes to spoilers, the spoilers start, like a month, the new set releases, a month later, we get spoilers for the next one. And it's like, that's crazy. Sometimes you haven't even, for local players we're talking about, somebody who isn't super invested, you may not have even gotten your hands on more than a handful of packs of the current set before spoilers for the next one start coming out. And like, that's just bonkers to me. And as a result, we are forced into seeing like a lot of draft chaff, cards that nobody cares about. Unless it's, and this is the Pokemon thing, every character is someone's favorite. Somebody loves Colonel Yularen out there, and presumably they're on the dev team because there's almost as many Colonel Yularens as there are Darth Vaders, and there might be more than the Lukes. Or maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember. I had looked it up. But regardless, the early spoilers were garbage. The new spoilers are much better, more recent ones. And it's frustrating talking to people during spoiler season, which is usually why I check out, but there's a number of reasons why I'm more engaged this time around. Primarily because the Set 5 meta until the bans was atrocious. So I was kind of checking out of the game, and the spoilers gave me an excuse to like be engaged. But talking to people, it's, and this is just discourse on the internet, but if somebody complains about something and somebody makes a complaint about the same thing, but a different complaint, it is not fair to then lump those two complaints together because they were two unique complaints, if that makes sense. So if you say, oh, I don't like the power level of these cards, and then someone else says, I don't like how much emphasis they put on theme over gameplay, those are similar complaints about the same thing, but they are not the same complaint. Because something could be, and this is where I get it. It's memes. It's just people on the internet where it's just, I want to get my pithy comment out. I do that all the time, so I 100% get it. But it's frustrating because you want to engage with it on a more intellectual level, a deeper level of, I don't like this thing, and why don't I like this thing, and why would I rather it be this other thing, or I would like it to modify in these ways, or whatever it happens to be. And you just get somebody with a one-shot comment who then disappears, and it's like, and the worst is when it's a one-shot comment, but they don't disappear, and then they just refuse to acknowledge that there are other layers. It's like, they're just trolling you. They're just trolling you. And it's frustrating because this set doesn't look great. I still am of the opinion, like, don't get me wrong, every set has had, even Twilight has some playable cards, and there are definitely going to be playable cards, but the set doesn't look great. And trying to articulate why it is not as good or why it is not what I feel it should be or what someone else feels it should be, whatever it is, and we could disagree about what it should be. It's more complex just than this is good, bad, because there's different versions of good when it comes to something like a game. And what goals are we trying to serve? Like, if you tell me that this set fully releases, it turns out it's complete ass, nobody wants to play it, there's nothing playable, and then come rotation, okay, it does whatever. That could entirely be in line with FFG's vision. It just may not be the game that I want to play, and that's okay. And I think that last part, which I keep harping on in a variety of different topics, is like the thing that people miss. If you don't like a thing, it could still be good. If you like a thing, it could still be bad. Those things are not necessarily connected. So as a result, you just need to accept the way things are. That's why I want to know that the article that I still haven't done the video on breaking down to this point, who cares, where I think that FFG is putting forth an absurd vision for the future of Star Wars Unlimited. I don't like their vision. Now, the reality is they can say everything that they want, but what they actually do is going to be what matters. And that's not in terms of, oh, they might shift course. It might just be they're saying this and they're not properly communicating it, or they can't actually materialize their vision, whatever. But if you like that, like you like what they're saying, that's fine. But it's important to me for them to appropriately communicate what their plans are, because I want to know so I can make a decision. And the sooner I can make a decision about whether I want to continue participating in the game or participating in other aspects of it, the better. We'd all love to know the future, right? So if you can tell me, and I can trust you, FFG, that you're saying you want to do this, and this is an example of what you want to have happen in the future, and I say, I don't like that thing, I can then check out. Or if you tell me, well, we're going to do this, and I say, that sounds awesome, I can get more invested. That's what I'm asking for. I don't particularly, I mean, it matters. I do care whether they do a thing that I like or don't like, as I think anyone would. But what's arguably more important is, are you telling me about that thing? So that way I can appropriately prepare for it. Like, look, if I want to travel to tournaments, I want to prepare for tournaments, I want to know that the time investment is in something that I want to do. I don't need a second job. I mean, I guess I do financially, but like, I don't want to do another job. I don't want my hobby to be a job. I want it to be a hobby that I am willingly engaging with and investing time and energy in. And that's the problem, is it's okay. Again, I've stopped a lot of games, come back to a lot of games where if I don't like it, I don't like it. And it's fine. If you like it, go play it. But I don't want to sink a ton of time into a thing that is going to turn out to be hot garbage because I just don't like the vision. It's fine. We're all adults here. We can just decide to, like, I don't want to do this anymore. So we'll see what the rest of spoiler season, the rest of set 6 shapes up to be. There's a lot of interesting conversations going on because of the bans that are kind of tangentially related to this. That, oh, well, we just went back to the set 4 meta. And that set 5 is therefore a failure. I think that there's a lot to be investigated on that front, because I don't 100% agree with it, but there is a kernel of truth where if your newest set 5 in this case, has 0 impact or close to 0 impact, that good, bad, or otherwise, But I also feel that people are reading too much into leaders. You know, like, oh, Kira's still the control leader. It's been the best control leader since set 2. Okay, who fucking cares? Are there no new cards? Like, nothing has come up, nothing has changed? Well, it's an archetype. You're saying that control hasn't changed? Well, no shit. Control is control. Like, that's the way the game works. You're telling me that, oh no, Sabine is still around? Okay, well, it's clearly not the identical list that it was in set 1 or set 2 or set 3 or even set 4. So you're arguing against there being a consistent archetype in the game so that people can use the cards that they paid for. I don't know. I'm starting to verge into another topic, and I don't want to make this too long. It's just funny to me when people... I don't understand... Like, legitimately, dude, I don't understand, not in the sense of, I don't get it, like, you're crazy. It just feels like I'm having a discussion with someone and they're literally speaking another language and we cannot communicate with each other because you're saying this and that doesn't even seem like something you can complain about, to me, is kind of the way, like, I can't get my head around the complaint. I don't know. There's going to be a lot more to talk about coming up. We do have Philly sectors at the time of this recording a week from now, 6 days from now. I'm going to figure out how I'm getting into the city because I don't want to drive in. If you're there, feel free to come up and say hi. Feel free to, hit me up in between or whatever. I'm going to be probably being a menace. But that's going to do it for this time. A little burp there. I'm still sick, so I need to get over this sickness already. It's on its way out, but like, it was tough casting yesterday. It was tough. But anyway, that's going to do it for this time. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Randoms Thoughts.